Okay, what you're looking at is a 1967 Ford Thunderbird steering column disassembled, not completely, but to the main parts, with a tilt function and the automatic tilt away function. I had to get a used one. I haven't assembled it on my car yet because this piece here was broken into two pieces. The black part and the gold part were separated thanks to a repair shop. That's what happened. So now that has to be replaced. This is not easy. It's a mess. But anyway, some of this is a collar. That's the U-joint for the tilt away function. There's the column. That's the shaft. Has this little thing at the bottom. I think it's kind of a protector for getting water up into the shaft. That has to be swaged off or cut to get it off of this, because that column has to come out of the shaft has to come out of the column in order to get all this here apart to get to that part there. And this little piece here that has where the pivots, 2 pins here and 2 pins there, that goes into that piece, and that's the ratchet for the tilt, and that one is for the tilt away. And then over here there's 2 that go into here, that's for the tilt. Then it has the little claws under here on each side that go on there, one at the top, one at the bottom. There's one engaged in the gear, and there's one on top of the gear. And then when you move the steering wheel slightly to the next tilt position, then the one up here goes on top and the one on the bottom goes. So it doubles the number. There's always one engaged and one not engaged, I believe. That's the spring mechanism for the tilt away. Goes in here. And this piece actually goes into onto that. And that's where everything's mounted. And this is just a little filler that kind of swivels. That's your quadrant with the plastic, and that's for the transmission lever, and that's just another just a filler part for design. And then there's 3 little dealies here, and they keep this in place, and they go into little slots right here, I think, 3 of them. And here's a little dealie here that goes in and out with this here, and that prevents the tilt away from happening. So that automatically, don't remember exactly how it works, but it moves with the vacuum, and then the tilt away function happens. This little screw goes into this, and that holds this on right there, that part. So the screw has to come out to get this part. That screw has to come out, then all this other stuff, so that'll slide out. And it's a little tricky to get this little piece out over this. And if you see, it's got a bunch of little cutouts in it, kind of like a Chinese puzzle. Got to move it the right way, and it will come off. So we'll see if I'm going to be able to put it back on when I assemble the new part after I paint it black for my car. And that's, of course, the electrical, and that has to be threaded through a hole in here. Goes in here, and it comes out of another hole down there. But anyway, that's just kind of a quick and dirty. Hard to find this information. I had to make this little tool right here to pull the pins out. It worked pretty good. Needed to have a little spacers on a couple of them because the screws are falling off of the boss. And but anyway, I was successful at removing it. So that's what I got. And we'll see if now I have to do this again on the one in the car, and then start reassembling. And again, like a Chinese puzzle, we'll see if I can figure out how to get it all back together, because all these have to be oriented the correct way for everything, of course, to function. That's it.